All right, so the 14th main box has officially came out. It came out last night, Gaia Genesis, and we're going to be talking about one of the best deck types from it, probably the best one, I would say, and that is Ultra Athletes. Now, real quick, I think it's worth noting that there has been a huge KC Cup announcement, and that announcement is that First Place Global for KC Cups will now give you an invite to the World Championship. I have criticized Konami so hard on this before that KC Cups are worthless, and now, finally, KC Cups are not worthless. I mean, unless you get first place. So, First Place Global, you go to World Championship, and there you go. That is a massive change. So, the KC Cup, when the hell is that happening? That is happening between September 7th and September 10th, 72 hours of dueling. Now, on the topic of KC Cup, we have Ultra Athletes from the latest box, and god damn, I think this is potentially a top deck to go into the KC Cup with. Before we get into the deck, let's talk about the skill we are using. Cyber Style can be used after your life points are at 3,000 or below. You play one Proto Cyber Dragon from outside of your deck for every 1,000 life you are missing. UA Midfielder, this is the core monster of the deck. It's the only monster that is level 4 or lower. Everything else needs help to summon onto the field. The great thing about Midfielder is if you have another UA monster on the field, you could return that monster to your hand on your turn or their turn, so your battle phase or on their turn, to special summon another UA monster from your hand. So that's really great. And all of the UA cards have the same effect where you could return a UA monster from the field to the hand during main phase 1 to special summon them. You normal summon Midfielder, and that allows you to special summon every other UA monster in the deck. We have UA Dreadnought Dunker. This is the big boss monster of the deck. When this deals battle damage, it will destroy a card on the field. It's level 7, so if you do not special summon it, it's going to take 2 tributes to summon. Now you have Rival Rebounder. Rival Rebounder on tribute summon or special summon on your opponent's turn through Midfielder will special summon a UA monster from the graveyard or from your hand. Then we have Mighty Slugger. Mighty Slugger, on attack, your opponent cannot respond with any card effects. So a card like Onslaught, not able to activate it, no Sphere Kribo, nothing. Even in the mirror match, if they have a penalty box, they can't activate it. So that is the full monster lineup. Cyber Style helps you summon the bigger monsters. Cyber Style also combos well with the Field Spell. The Field Spell says if a UA monster is normal summon, you could search your deck for any UA monster. Well, the second effect is if you special summon a UA monster through their effects, then you give all monsters on the field plus 500 attack permanently. So if you have a bunch of Proto Cyber Dragons on the field and you special summon a UA monster, the Proto Cybers will get boosted. A great combo would be if you have multiple UA stadiums. On the first one, you get the 500 attack boost because it is only once per turn. Then you play another UA stadium, return that UA back to your hand, special summon a new one. That's a 1,000 attack boost onto your Proto Cyber Dragons. Now we have Cosmic Cyclone to help activate the skill of Cyber Style. Now we have Paleozoic Canadia. Canadia is a great way to tribute summon for your Mighty Slugger or your Rebounder. With Canadia, when you activate a trap or your opponent activates a trap while it's in the grave, it special summons onto the field. Well, the best way to special summon this onto the field very easily is through UA Penalty Box. UA Penalty Box to continuous trap, you flip it up, Canadia goes right onto the field, then you could tribute summon whenever. Very good. Now, even better, UA Penalty Box has the effect of if you go to battle with your UA monster against an opposing monster, they can attack into it or you attack, it will banish it until their second end phase. This wins over Onslaught. So if they have Onslaught and you have this, you will banish and they will not be banishing your monster. And to finish off the deck, we have Treacherous Trap Hole. Let's get right into the gameplay. So this is when I was playing Tricky. Tricky with the penalty box is a very cool combo because the penalty box from the graveyard, even during your opponent's turn, you could banish to search your deck for a UA stadium. Then you tribute off Tricky for one of your monsters and then search. Very good. Once again, showing how great Canadia is. Midfielder is perfect for triggering the field spells, constantly searching the deck. Now, a thing you want to notice here is I did not summon Dunker. The reason I did not summon Dunker is because we still have Midfielder effect. You want to follow up with midfielder effect. You want to attack with everything, then you could do the follow-up. And there you go. That's when we want to put it back. Here comes the dunker. Stadium giving the plus 500 attack on everything. Forces out the enemy controller. This is where I'm going to be chaining the midfielder effect to Donpa. So Donpa targets Dunker for destruction. I put it back to my hand. I special summon Rebounder. Mighty Slugger. If it was Rebounder, it would have been much better. Would have special summoned Dunker back onto the field. And as you notice there, it gave me the attack boost again. So you want to get the attack boost on your turn and their turn. Treacherous. Now, this is just so lovely. We are playing around Treacherous. He's targeting our monsters. We're going to use midfielder to put the monster back to the hand and still clear and beat his field. There you go, midfielder effect, putting Slugger back to the hand. Special summon the Dunker. All right, another game with Tricky. Tricky is a great option to play if you want to tribute off the midfielder, summon the Rebounder, because Rebounder is going to summon the discarded midfielder anyway. 2 monsters on the field off of a Tricky. Definitely consider playing Tricky in your own build. And that's it. That's OTK right there. Attack with the Rebounder. Special summon Dunker afterward. Easy. And now we are finally playing with Cyber Style. Playing against Vampires. Vampires are a tier 2 deck. Definitely a top tier deck. And I don't know. I feel like UAs are better. That's very, very good deck. I'm so surprised how good UAs are. Let's see how this game goes. Oh boy. Setting up the Takeover. Takeover will play a field spell from the deck and special summon a Vampire from the grave. Played a field spell anyway. That's all right. We got Cosmic Cyclone onto that Takeover. Get it off the field. Cyber Style, we're going to pay while we lose 1,000 life from the Cosmic Cyclone. And then we're going to activate our skill to special summon a Proto Cyber onto the field. We're going to play the field spell to make sure we get the search on summon. Tribute off for a Rebounder. Rebounder is going to special summon Mighty Slugger from the hand. We're also going to get a search. Love it. And, Dunker. Dunker. Dunker deals pierce damage. Pierce damage. This is game. 0 defense. Vampires are going to get eaten up by the Dunker. Absolutely nuts. That is a big deal. Now, you are no longer safe with them Vampires in defense. There we go. Odeon. Hopefully, this is Amazon's, if I remember correctly. Midfielder right away, back to the hand. Summon Rebounder. I keep Cosmic Cycle in the hand for that Onslaught. I'm waiting for the Onslaught. Oh, this dirty little Amazon's cheater. Still playing Baby Tiger. Wall of Disruption. It's okay. We just put them back to the hand if needed. So the crazy thing with this duel is I have a Treacherous Trap Hole face down and a Cosmic Cycle in my hand. And I think, you know what? I'm not going to use either unless I really have to. So I hold on to both. Let's see if I even need either to win this. So we just banished with the penalty box at the start of the damage step. That banishes when we go to battle. I just don't feel we need it. We tribute off the midfielder for another Rebounder and going to special summon it back onto the field. And whatever we search can go back to the... It's going to go onto the field for the Rebounder on the field. Now, we got hit with another Wall of D. We activate midfielder to summon the Dunker from the hand. We don't even need our Treacherous or our Cosmic Cyclone. It's crazy. With midfielder and their inherent effects, they could keep bouncing on the field and off the field, so effects like Wall Disruption just don't do anything. And if you were to get floodgated, you could just tribute summon. This deck is absolutely nuts. So the penalty box went to turn 2 with the Amazon Swordsman, so that's back on the field. But come on, there's nothing he could do. If we go to battle, he's going to get banished. And the great thing about Slugger, so now we have Slugger on the field. Slugger at 2,800 attack thanks to the field spell. Your opponent, they cannot activate anything. They can't activate the trap. They can't activate Onslaught. They can't even banish. Mighty Slugger is a great counter to Onslaught. Look at that. Easy win. We did not even use our Treacherous. We did not even use our Cosmic Cyclone. Now, I'm fully aware that there were moments in that duel where there were optimal times to use it, but I was confident with how broken the penalty boxes with the field spell, with swapping monsters on the field back and forth, that we just completely dominated this Amazoness deck. Oh boy, I think this is a mirror match. So I think in the mirror match, you're going to love Cosmic Cyclone. I think we get great use out of it. We have to. It's the mirror match. Plus 500, set that Cosmic Cyclone. There you go. Deny that field spell. He's summoning Mithra. So Mithra is also a great card to use in this deck. I'm just not using it because of room. But otherwise, it's an amazing card, and you will see why right here. So no thank you. We will deny that Stadium Search by banishing with Cosmic Cyclone. He summons a Slugger. Slugger can't do anything to our field, but he returns the Slugger for a Dunker of his own. Well, I'm 3,000 attack. He's 25. Well, you do pierce damage with Dunker, and he summoned a token onto my side of the field, so he'll swing over the token and then destroy my Dunker. Like, it looks completely broken, and it is. It's amazing. But, you know, still I'm not using Mithra. All right, thanks to the Stadium boost of the plus 500, we will easily be able to get bigger. And, oh, yes, this is the money right here. We're summoning the Proto Cybers just to get the attack boost from the field spell. Boom. Plus 500 onto everything, and swinging into his back row, he's not going to be able to activate it. Now, I know we're playing against a Cyber-style deck, and we do not have lethal here. We are off by just a little bit. So knowing that, I choose to not attack with my Proto Cybers. I'm at 1,500 life, so I chose to summon them anyway to pretty much protect my life and get that 500 attack boost. I end right here. I don't think there's much he could do. I am confident that his face down card is likely a penalty box. And that's the great thing about the mirror match. How do you deal with penalty box? Well, Mighty Slugger. You get Slugger on the field, they cannot activate the penalty box when you attack with Slugger. I think he scoops it up. Galaxy Cyclone, you have to destroy a face down card on the field. He ends up destroying his own face down card, or he realizes he has to destroy his own face down card, scoops it up. Obviously, we are the better B-baller. All right, hand, yeah, not amazing. Still, you know, it's pretty good. It's not bad. With penalty box, we could banish at the start of the damage step. We have midfielders, so we could summon Dunker and get that battle damage done, hopefully. Canadia, also for protection. Summon midfielder, summon Dunker, beat down on the Dunker, swinging over the Donpa, and then we're going to activate its effect to destroy the beat. Now, right here, I have to play around Wiz. So I was thinking, what's the best way to play around Wiz here? I want to be able to use my Canadia. I feel like if he negates the Canadia, I would potentially lose. So I flipped up penalty box. He attempts to negate it. Well, he does negate it. And then I chain my Canadia onto the Donpa after Donpa effect. So this will force him to summon a monster onto the field and not get Donpa effect. So my Dunker is safe. And then, oh, just watch this. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Penalty box goes to the grave because its activation was negated. Now, Dyna effect. I'm going to chain penalty box from the grave. I'm going to be able to search my deck for the field spell in response to the Dyna effect, so he will not even be able to banish it. That is absolutely incredible. Now, I had to take quite a gamble here. The gamble here was, you know, I could go for the face down or I go for the Dyna. I chose to go for the Dyna because if he topped a monster anyway, I felt like I would have lost. But this replay is just to mainly show that penalty box and Canadia play. Very good way to play around Wiz. So here, you know, I've been testing a lot, so there is econ this, but the build I showed you at the start of this video, that is my build, and I'll also show it again. But, you know, great hand. Great hand. I don't play the field spell because I'm expecting him to negate it. With his Silent Magician, once per turn, he can negate a card. I want him to negate my enemy controller, which I'm going to force him to do it. So he negates it. Now I could freely play the field spell and just hope for a top deck, or I just hope that he triggers my Cyber Style, which he does. Thank you. 2,000 life. I'll be summoning 2 Proto Cybers. Thank you to that. Tribute off for the Slugger. Very good. Search a midfielder. Back to the hand. Onto the field. Summon a midfielder, summon a slugger. So why did I do that? I did that because I wanted to give the 500 attack boost onto my Proto Cyber Dragon. So that's a nice little loop you could do. You tribute, special, and then special summon back onto the field just to trigger the field spell. Now, that is amazing. That is why we summon Slugger. Slugger prevented Silent Magician from activating its effect. You can't activate Silent Magician in the grave when destroyed by a Mighty Slugger on its attack because your opponent cannot activate anything. So the Mighty Slugger completely countered the Silent Magician. Love it. Love it. All right. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty... he can't do much after this. Come on. Come on. Come on. Got the field spell. Floodgate Trap Hole. Yeah, this guy's finished. He's finished. Swinging with the Slugger. So that's another great thing if you're playing a card like Enemy Controller. Let's say he is playing a Sphere Karibo. If you declare an attack with Slugger, then you have other ways to win, like a Treacherous or an Enemy Controller. You could safely use those cards, and then they will not be able to respond to them. No Sphere Karibo, no Enemy Controller themselves, nothing. Even if they're holding onto a card because it doesn't look like lethal, you swing, then you play your cards, then the Slugger goes through for game. Slugger is absolutely nuts.
Duel.
All right, what's this? We got Penalty Box, Treacherous, Midfielder and a Slugger. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. 3 back row with the Slugger. Canadia right in my battle phase, so very smart. That's what you want to do to counter a Slugger. Gaia. Now, I'm testing out Mithra in this, so I've tested out pretty much everything. And this penalty box is in the damage step. That means he cannot summon Canadia. He cannot flip up his back row cards unless they are damage step cards. Love it. Banishes off the Gaia attacker. And it is turn, so it counts up to 1. On the second turn, it will come back. Top deck a Slugger. Love it. Now, I'm playing around Wall Disruption, even though I summon a second monster. But I was expecting potentially maybe another Canadia or him summoning the Canadia from the grave. So that's why I committed with the midfielder onto the field. So Mighty Slugger, no Wall Disruption, no care. I'm going to hit, and I'm not going to swing with the midfielder because I am playing around Wall D. Okay. Attacker sliding. That does nothing. Okay. Finally, you get your attacker back onto the field. Good stuff. Now, Slugger. Swinging in. We just talked about this. I have game if I Treacherous, but you want to make sure you attack first. As soon as you attack, as soon as you see Slugger pop up on the screen like that, it's over. There's nothing they could do if you activate anything to finish him off. There we go. Treacherous. 3 back row cards will not be able to activate anything, and the attack goes through. God damn. This is deck, guys. Oh my Jesus. I can't believe how powerful this deck is. All right, so I have no sound for this, but I just want to show you a cool combo with Mithra. Mithra, very cool combo. So basically, Mithra says you could special summon her from the hand to summon a token onto your opponent's side of the field. That's it. Very nice. Then when you tribute summon Mithra, you could tribute summon again. That's 2 tribute summons. You're going to see it in action right here. So we summon Mithra. Make sure to play that field spell. And then we're going to tribute with Slugger. Tribute with Slugger. So you can pretend like we don't even have Rebounder in our hand. So pretend we don't have Rebounder and we just searched Rebounder. Now you want to activate Mithra's effect. That's the effect that's going to allow you to tribute summon again. We're going to search Dunker in this case because we already have our Rebounder. All right, Dunker to the hand. And there you go. This is our second normal summon. Triggers the field spell a second time. The effect to gain 500 is once per turn, but the effect to search your deck on normal summon, that's it. You could do it as many times as you want. 2 searches in 1 turn. Rebounder effect, special summon the monster from the grave that we just tributed. So if you have Mithra, plus a field spell, plus a Mighty Slugger, you Mithra, field spell, tribute for Slugger, search your deck for Rebounder, then tribute the Slugger for Rebounder, special summon Slugger back onto the field, and get a second search of your field spell. All right, guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just recorded it in one take. I had a bunch of replays, just talked over them. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this type of style video. If so, I do plan on doing more like this because it was a lot of fun for me to yell over my replays. So, quick recap: midfielder, Nuts, return monsters back to the hand, special summon, Dunker, dunk on them fools by destroying their cards when you deal battle damage, Rebounder, special summon from your hand or grave on normal summon, or when special summon on their turn. Mighty Slugger, they can't activate anything when this attacks. Cosmic Cyclone, great for removing backer, great for the mirror match, great for Amazons, great for triggering that Cyber Style. The field spell will keep giving your monsters a plus 500 attack boost, and you'll be searching your UA monsters. Canadia is great protection and great for tributing. Penalty Box is great for triggering Canadia and also protecting your monsters, and also on the aggressive, banishing the opposing monsters. That is nuts. And also when it's in the grave, you can banish it to search for the field spell. Even though we don't have a good way to sense the grave, like if we were to play Tricky, as you saw in the footage, Tricky is a great way to put Penalty Box into the grave and then finishing it up with a treacherous trap hole. This deck is nuts, guys.